Hey, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. I am back. Hi, Jeep. How are you? I've got you for 2 questions. I hope you're doing well. Same thing. Nobody notices. I have this reading, and she's like, nobody notices your hair, like because it actually came up, apparently, unless she watches. But I doubt it. So, how are you doing today? I just had to shovel food in my face, so that's why I'm a few minutes late. I did it a little bit later. We got back late, and I had to get my daughter has a birthday party. My husband's taking her to, and so I just had to wrap a couple little things. And how is everybody who's here? Say hello. Did anybody? Well, I know Jeep, you're not here, so you wouldn't early vote. But what are your questions, answers, concerns? Oh, did I? No, I didn't. Good. Who else is here? Say hi. Unless it's one of my kids, then don't say hi. You need to go away. Jeep, what are your questions? You go ahead and start. I hope other people show up. Who's here? Say hello. How will you live your life in the future with your wife? I feel like it's a little quieter. You live in a little more secluded area. I'm seeing, I see like a field in front of me. There's a lot of hills, and I see like a retaining wall made of rocks. I don't know if these are like, I think you might have some little goats, like little miniature goats. You know those little, and some kind of herding dog, like a Australian Shepherd or something like that. I can't see her, and I'm seeing it as if I'm looking out on the horizon from your perspective. I feel like there'll be a smaller garden. It's not a farm, and it's not really it's not a huge working farm, but it's a farmish kind of thing, is what I'm getting. It just feels like quieter. And just because I can't see her doesn't mean she's not there. I just am not being shown her. It's a feeling of living kind of more secluded. With the animals, though. You dream with living with animals. That's what I see happening. I mean, you may honestly be living in like Ireland or Scotland or Wales or somewhere in that area. And I do feel like you end up picking that. This is interesting that I just got like that you pick that area because it is more accepting of people that are not palm colored. You know what I mean? Sorry, I think I have some carrots in my teeth. Not that you guys can see them, but I can just feel it. So it's like a sensory thing. You have Arabic culture, so I thought I will move to the Middle East. I mean, maybe you will, but to me, it feels like not. I'm happy to be wrong on that. It could just be maybe the area that I'm seeing looks similar to what I would feel if I'm looking at pictures and video of like Ireland and Scotland and Wales. I'm leaning more towards like the Ireland thing, but it could be any of those three. Who's here? Hi, Pam. Welcome. Who else is here? Say hello. Don't be just voyeuristic. And oh, maybe you're new and you can't say hello because you have to be here for 5 minutes. Positive thinking. I put out a new, if anybody's interested, if you're not a part of my mailing list, I put out a new, what do you call it? Blog on Friday. I think I did it on Friday. My weeks and days are running together a little bit. I have a 6th grader who's doing pre-algebra. It's the honors math. And I think she's also ADHD. So we sit and I sit with her while she does her homework. And it's just more like a lot of redirection and reminding her, like, she'll be like, my shoe, or like random, like going off into random stories, and like really having to keep her focused. And then like cartwheels and handstands while I'm checking her work, that kind of stuff. Just the normal. Oh, when will it happen? There's something about 6 years, but I don't know if that's you having all of this in 6 years, because it just feels like more movement towards it in that time. So maybe what I'm like, let me reframe this. What I'm seeing in that picture must be in 6 years. That seems like a long time, but you know what? My buddy Paul told me that I was going to be doing really amazing things when I was like 60. So, hey, that was 6 years ago. I only got 14 years left. I mean, sometimes when we look forward, we think that something seems such a long way away, and that's really not that long away, you know? So what's your second question? Oh, so I'm going to say yes, but not in the way of like you meet her and then move. I think you're moving first and then you meet her there. Regine, how are you, dear? Just in time to vote. Fabulous. I'm so glad you had such a good time. You were in France, right? I knew somebody else who was in France just recently. She might be back. I don't know. I was going to do early voting, and I didn't get back early enough to go there and do that and come here. And yes, I know they had early voting here all week, but it was like there's like a lot of lines, and I was like, how should I like waiting in line? Because when I go on regular voting day, there's like no line ever. So I'm just going to go on Tuesday, unless I get out of here and I get a bug up my butt and it's before 6. But I have a feeling it won't be. So I'll just go on Tuesday. I'll drag my one of my kids with me. You decided to write a book in the future. When will I start? 2 years. And it's really not because it's not there. It's just you're like, I'm going to write it in the future. And so then like, it's just waiting for you to do it. It's not, but I just feel like it becomes like well, it's a now or never kind of thing, where you just finally like light a fire under your tush and say like, it's time to go. I don't think this book changes your life, but I think it puts you on the path for writing to change your life. Yeah, more written material. Yeah, and not just books though. Maybe short stories that you submit to publications, and that feels more like kind of to get your feet wet and get your confidence going, and in a way get your name out there, connecting with other people. Hi Sharon, how are you? Welcome. I love all of the hearts and flags. Hello, just being me. How are you? The reading is $12 here. I'll put No, not a journalist, as a writer, just submitting short stories. So they're fictional. Um, Let me do it this way. I'm doing well this evening. Thank you for asking. I'm so excited because we have first time. I live in New Jersey, and we have first time in-person voting where you use the machines and stuff. So there's like been a lot of people, and there's a really so there's like we have the state, right, and then they have counties since you're from another country. That way you understand how it kind of works here. Um, in my county, one like so when sorry, I didn't mean to rattle you. Um, so when you vote on a regular voting day that happens, like I have a polling place that's not far from my house, but just it's in a church. And like there's a lot more polling places. But then when there's early voting, they'll have it at like big central locations. So in my county, um, there's like maybe 5 or 6 of them. I can't remember exactly how many. And there's one of the big places is literally right around the corner from my house. And I was going to go, but there's been lines, like big lines. The first day it was like crazy. I couldn't even believe it. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll go. I was going to go maybe yesterday after ice skating, but then I ended up taking one of my daughter's friends home. So I didn't want to drag her with. Um, so I'm going to go on Tuesday to my little small voting place where there's usually no lines at all. And I'm super excited because I'm 1,000% certain we're going to be saying Madam President. That's it. And I'm so happy. And so for all of my people that follow me and are Republicans, I totally understand. You might be worried. Oh my God, like believing propaganda. But the truth is, it's going to be okay. I promise it's going to be okay. I've seen the future. um, that's that. I am excited personally. I'm excited because things are only going to go up from here. Um, Granted, there's still happenings in the world. I'm sorry, I did not mean to like start a thought and then completely forget a thought. Hi, Rosemarie. It's been so good. We haven't seen you in a while. I saw you comment or like something of mine on one of my social media things, and it made me smile. I notice these things. It's because I don't have a big following. So I get to notice these things. I'm going to pin the payment thing. So it's $12 a question. 30% I donate to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. So in years past, every week I would go in and make my donation, and I would keep my tallied up. This year I have it. I'm just doing it all at once because it's less receipts for me to keep track of. So I hope you don't mind, but I do donate. I will donate 30% to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, and I can show you receipts for that. I think it's really important because food scarcity is real. There's a lot of little kids that don't have food, and a lot of moms that are like, sacrificing so that their kids can have food. And every dollar provides 3 meals. So go like the little bit that I get to donate goes a really long way. And I think it's really important to help people out because we shouldn't live in a world where people are hungry. Like there's just so much excess. There's no reason for that. There's a lot of things I want to write about some topics, but I'm afraid. So I encourage you to explore what you're afraid of around those topics, right? So usually fear covers up, some other emotion, right? And it's like a secondary kind of like anger too. So explore that around like, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of judgment? Are you afraid of, whatever it is, being seen? Because even if you write about something totally else, what's going to keep you from being like out there in the public eye and being able to be perceived is that fear. Like that's going to be an underlying subconscious thing. So I would totally 1,000% explore what am I afraid of? What do I think people think of me? And doing the I am work, right? I am safe. I'm deserving of all this, whatever you want to do it with. And then we have a lot of problems in Sweden. And then you're not going to always be there. I'm just saying that, like, that's not where you're going to always be. So, um, try not to let that hold you back. Yeah. I mean, I understand that fear of, like, being perceived. Hi, Pam. Can I get a reading? This is your first time. Sure. Did you purchase one? I have for Jean. I have one from you. I'm going to go to my PayPal and check that. Angela, is that you? No. Angela, I have one from you as well. I don't know if you didn't say hello or anything yet. Hello. Sure, I can do that. Just remind me, okay? So at the end, since you're new here, let me tell you how this works. So I do personal readings. I do charge for them because, I'm using my energy. And all of my years of reading and experience, I've done readings professionally for 16 years. I've been naturally skilled in these abilities since I was a kid. I don't like to call them gifts because I feel like everybody has the ability to touch in with their intuition. So we call them skills, and we can hone our skills and practice and get better and more refined and all of that. So, but I've been doing it professionally for 16 years. I'm a reverend in the Spiritualist Church of New York City. Next weekend I will not be here. I have an event to go work at another fellow. I don't know if she's a reverend actually, but she read with me. And actually a couple other people from through the church and some other places are going to be reading for a private event. So I won't be here for that. And it's a bit of a drive. So that's like, I don't have the time to like kind of move it around. So I'll be back the following week. So the first part of the readings, Angela, we do private readings where everybody gets to ask, spend time. It's $12 a question. They ask their own personal questions. And then we move to like general. So that's helpful to everybody, where you can ask world events, pop culture, things like that. I'm looking for a ring from your mom. She told me it was in a bag before she passed. Find it anywhere. Okay. So it feels like it's in, the bag feels like it's either canvas or waxed canvas. And it feels like it's in a pocket, like it's not a zippered pocket. It's like, when they sometimes have a little outside pocket, you can just drop something in, and it's tucked in the corner. The bag feels like it's like dark, like a dark gray, a dark brown, or a faded black. And I heard burnished, so I don't know if that makes any sense to you. Does that resonate with the bag that she told you it was in? She's also showing me like a brooch with pearls on it. She told me it was in a duffel bag and there's jewelry, but the ring is not in there. It feels like it's like tucked in the corner of the pocket. So like, this is my little computer thing. Like, this is the way I'm seeing it. It's like, this is like the pocket corner, and it feels like the part that sticks up from the ring, that would be like the decorative part of it, is like buried in the corner, like in the corner, kind of like this, so you wouldn't necessarily see it. That's what she's showing me. Is the duffel bag like a waxed canvas or a canvas? And is it one of those colors, like a dark brown, a dark gray, or like a faded black? This is what I'm seeing. So if it's not canvas, it's like, it's like a canvas-like material, like something like that. It's dark like black. Okay, but is it a canvas material or like a or maybe it's like burnished or waxed canvas. Like that's kind of what I'm seeing. I wish I could like be like, go get the bag and show it to me because I want to see. Because I probably say that's what I'm. It's cloth. It's not a leather bag. Is what I'm going to say. It's not leather. And it feels like a well-loved bag. It's a nylon top type. Okay. It's well-loved is the feeling I get. There may even be like a hole in the pocket, so it might have slid in the lining. I'm not seeing anything but like as if I'm looking at the bag close up, so I'm not seeing anything else in there, but it may even be like there's a hole in the pocket in the lining and it slipped within the lining of the bag. Um, Go get it, go look. Did she like something about candy apples or because I get her like candy apple red, candy like little, but I'm seeing like almost like a little. Does she have like a little enameled things like let me see if I can find an example of what I'm talking about. I might have to just send my daughter a text really quick to remind her to get back to doing math. She has a quiz tomorrow. And I'm like, so I saw an apple, one of these, but this is this place that I think this one's cute. Shoot. Hang on, it's like flipping around. Here, I'll show you the strawberry. It's an enameled charm. So it's like my husband's taking down Halloween things. So it's like silver, but then it's like that's the color of her ring, that red. Okay. So I feel like I'm on the right path since I got that. So my husband's taking down all the Halloween decorations because my girls are like, can you put up the Christmas decorations? Because our bunny likes to sit underneath the tree. And we have to have, unfortunately, I mean, I guess, but we have to have fake trees because our allergies are also terrible. And so like the girls are like, will you put it up? And I said, I'm not putting up Christmas until Halloween is down. So he's actually listening this year and taking it down, which is nice. So, and he's like, most people don't put up their trees till Thanksgiving. And I'm like, whatever. It's not like we have tons of guests over, whatever. It's fine. My grandmother, my mom's mom kept up her Christmas tree year round at a point. She would change the decorations out at it. So whatever. I feel like when you get to be a certain age, like you just get to do whatever and it doesn't matter. And anybody who doesn't like it can just kick rocks. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm being shown. I hope that helps. And you have to come back if you find it, and it's where I said it was, because I want to know. All right, so Regine, what's your question? You're very welcome. One quick, Angela, she says you're doing a good job. So I feel like she tasked you with a whole bunch of things that you had to take care of after her passing. And she just wants you to know you're doing a good job because I feel like you ask that a lot and there's a lot of wondering if you're doing okay with that. Okay. What does 2025 look like to you? I feel like very busy because I feel out of breath. That feeling of like, and I don't feel like this is like a physical medical thing going on for you. It feels like you're out of breath, like because you're just running around and busy and keeping yourself really busy. It's a good kind of busy. It's not a bad kind of busy. Hmm. Sorry, there was just a little bleed over yet. What is that? I don't know what this is I'm seeing. It reminds me of, so I know Kwanzaa, they do candles. It kind of reminds me of the colors from, I don't know what this is. Hang on, let me just look and see if I can figure out if this is what I think it is. I just want to put in a Kwanzaa ring because I'm seeing like a ring, but it's not. I don't know what this is. This is weird, but I think next year you're going to be celebrating Kwanzaa. I don't think that you celebrate it, and I think you will be next year. And it feels like, hi, KK, how are you? I got your email. Thank you. I appreciate that. It feels like that you might be doing that next year, celebrating that. And it feels like because of somebody in your life. So I think that's part of what's going on in 2025. I feel like the man who comes in your life might either be of Nigerian descent or actually be from Nigeria. And he feels very patient with waiting for you to come around. Like there's no pressure to really like, it's like, I actually feel like when you meet him, he is interested and you're sort of like, I don't know. And so he's sort of patient about it, like getting to know you without any pressure. I got your other patient payment, Jeep. I have that's what I feel. Hi, CB, how are you? I hope things are getting a little better for you. It just feels like it's going to be a good year, but it's going to be busy. And I feel like the man is really the second half of the year versus the first. I'm still accepting questions. Yes. That's what I'm feeling. Hi, Kiki. How are you? That is very exciting, right? I'm excited because, by the next time that we do a reading, I think it's, Capricorn will be out. I mean, Pluto will be out of Capricorn. And that has been, I don't care if you don't believe in astrology. It sure does line up with my life when I have somebody read my chart. And I'm very excited for new beginnings. And I can't remember which two planets cross over my Aries ascendant in February of 2026. They make a pass or close to it, and then kind of like, I think before that, but I'm excited because that's supposedly a very big time for me. So, okay, Cindy. Your ascendant is Scorpio. Oh, did I say it was last time? What did I say last time? Remind me, please refresh my brain. Knowing the age of Aquarius is coming has helped me have hope, right? Right? Like just getting out of this rough time. I did. Okay, fabulous. I love that. Okay. I like finding out when I'm right. I like validations. it's not like I like all of a sudden won't believe if I don't keep getting validations, but it's just nice because sometimes you say stuff I forget half of what I say, if not more. So a lot of cardinals in your chart. Oh, nice. It's gonna get good. It's gonna get good. Okay, so I think, who is next? Sorry, I just had a brain fart. Let me look at this. Okay, Jeep, you're up, and then Cindy. Need to. These are $12 a question. The link is pinned, and 30% goes to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. If it's a general kind of what's going on in the world, pop culture kind of thing, if you want to hold on to that, that's free. But any personal ones are going to be $12, and that's like a nominal fee, really. I've been really thinking about it lately. I'm like, I really undercharge. Like I see people who've been doing readings and who are, not to be judgmental, but like not as seasoned, and therefore still very unsure of themselves as they're reading, and they charge 3 times or 4 or 5 times what I charge for a question just for like a 10 or 15 minute reading. So on a live thing. So I'm learning to be like, yeah. And then people come on here, they're like, when are you doing your free YouTubes again? Or free lives at TikTok again? I don't think I'm going to be doing free anymore. Because, okay, my son was born in Sweden but left when he was 5. Will my son live with me in the near future? I feel like I told you he would, but I feel like it's when he's a little bit older. So like college age or just after college. I feel like it offers a new start for him. And I also feel like you're not going to be in Sweden when he does move in with you. 12 is free. Thank you, Cindy. I mean, it practically is free when I do it here because I end up like, they take the fees from PayPal, and I still take 30% from the $12 and donate that. So I'm not really getting much from these readings when I do them. So, yeah. So that's why I asked for it, because it gives me a minimal amount, and you're doing something good for other people when you pay for these readings, because you're helping other people with meals. I know there's, in my town alone, I think there's, well, last year when we did, my daughter's Girl Scout troop filled bags for the food bank in our town. There's like 250 families that benefit from the donations, and they get their food donations and stuff, like a lot of it through the Food Bank of America and then Community Food Bank of New Jersey. So, which is like, they're all also affiliated with each other. So, I mean, unfortunately, we live in capitalism, and capitalism in the United States does not really support most people. So there's a lot of people that are doing okay, but there's a lot of people who don't. And I just think that's not the way the world should be. So I feel like he'll visit you in Sweden, but end up living with you when you live somewhere else. Yes. Have you lived in Copenhagen or Copenhagen, however you want to say it? He will. It feels like it feels like a time where he's just starting out or just trying to focus, and like maybe starting at a new job or doing some sort of internship. I feel like you'll take a trip there with him, because I keep seeing walking around on the streets with him. Excuse me. You might even live there for a year. But I feel like it's like he feels very focused when he's living with you. Oh, that would be fun. My kids love Legoland. There's the one in Florida has it's a real roller coaster, but you wear goggles, so it's like ends up being like a virtual ride. And my oldest loved that because when she wasn't okay with doing roller coasters, it was like a bigger roller coaster. And she's still like, none of my kids are, one of my daughters is like, you can't get around anything like that to save your life. And my little one likes the little roller coasters. But this is like kind of in between big and little. And so my older one loved that because also it wasn't like scary because you had the little goggles on. Excuse me. So that's what I'm seeing for. He's studying computer science. So it might be that wherever you are, he ends up doing an internship or something. I don't think it's in Sweden, but I could totally be wrong. You're welcome. Cindy, what's your question? You have a friend named Natima? Sorry, I keep yawning. Forgive me. He was a longtime friend that was respectfully stopped talking to when I was married. Okay. But now that I'm separated, we've been conversing and I'm curious as to what's going on with him. He seems guarded. Okay. I am happy to share. He is guarded. I feel like there's two things for his being guarded. One, I feel like he might actually be sort of seeing someone and doesn't really want to say it because it's not serious, but there's someone there. And the other part is being guarded because you're so freshly separated, that it feels just like not wanting to jump into something and then, oh my God, what if you get back together with your husband? Even though you and I both know that's not happening, it just feels like he's being cautious. Like, we know that's not happening. But, so you can do the manifesting bit of it, right? So he's so transparent with me. He's always totally honest. It's so easy to read him. Like, he's so honest. Like, I don't even feel like I have to read him, kind of thing, and see what happens. I'm going to caution you on jumping fully into a relationship until you do some of the I am affirmation work. And I say that only because if our beliefs create a reality and if we manifest what we believe on a core level, if we've just gotten out of a relationship, oh, you don't even see them that way. Okay. But I say, if you've just gotten out of a relationship and a tough one, right? Obviously, I mean, most relationships that people end are not easy ones, right? But if you've gotten out of that, then, oh my God, Jeep, I got your payment. If you've gotten out of that, chances are you haven't worked on the self-concept stuff to heal that, to then not expect and have triggers when you walk into your next relationship. So maybe if you're not interested in him in that way, why not just not to use him like a guinea pig, but maybe just use him like a guinea pig a little bit and practice the like having him show up in the way you want to, because you can then see that it's there's not like the major emotions to it, right? So it's like start affirming, oh, he's like so open and so transparent with who he is. I don't ever have to guess. It's so easy. It's an easy, light relationship. It's a good friendship. I don't have to feel like he's being guarded or that I have to be guarded, because he knows that I'm a safe person to talk to and that there's no judgment. Something like that. Change it into like where you're changing your perception of the way they show up, and then it's because, and then followed by the I am stuff, because then it's like a double whammy of goodness. What's your question, Jeep? Oh, there you go. How will your future wedding look like? I see a lot of red, actually. Like red and yellow. Is that traditional? Yes. I believe in good affirmation language. I believe in like always like trying to like, however you can make it like double amazing. I affirm for a lot of stuff that way. Like, you can even do it like if you're looking for success or whatever in your job. It's like people are drawn to me and like are drawn to my content. Or you might say, for some of you on here, my bosses are drawn to my work. Or you might say something like, my clients find them because they're drawn to me because I am magnetic, because I am really good at what I do, whatever. So it's like a double thing. So Jeep, does the red and yellow make sense culturally? Because I keep seeing like a lot of red and yellow, and I feel like you get married in the springtime. So not the fall or summer, obviously, because spring is not fall or summer. Good Lord. Forgive the non-sleep silly logic. Okay, Cindy. It's not big because I don't see crowds and crowds of people, but it feels kind of elaborate in a way. I also want to state this for you, Jeep, that I think that that's really great. A way to own your future by just deciding, oh, of course this is going to happen. So how's it going to look? I will do that. I'm thinking transition farm Palestinian wedding folk dress. But do the colors make sense? The reds and like and not like a candy apple red, more of a deeper red. So I see yellows as in like marigold flowers. You know how the yellow marigold flowers look, that are like more like goldish yellow, like that? Where will it be? I heard in your yard. So it's like it's gonna be a home wedding. So it feels like it's not a really big, but it's very decorated, it's very elaborate. But the point about you saying it the way it is, it's like you've already decided this is gonna happen. So you're done, you're planning it with expectation, which is really good. As opposed to like there's people come on here and they'll say like, when am I is this ever gonna happen? It's like, yeah, it'll happen, just ask with expectation. One day I will have a whole story about things I have manifested and knew they were coming. One of these is since I was a kid, but I'm not sharing it until it happens. Goldfish. Oh, perfect. Yes, goldish yellow. That's what I'm saying. Goldish yellow. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is traditional or not because I don't know enough of the culture. It feels like it lends more to being traditional, but still traditional, but also like laid back, right? So not so restrictive, if that makes sense. Yeah, some of these I can't wait to tell you all about, but not until they happen. Okay, Cindy, what's your other question? I want to know how long I would date before I met my person. Your son will for sure be there. I think your daughter will too, but I feel like she's a little quieter, more reserved. She's not quite as comfortable. Cindy, I feel like 2 years. It doesn't mean you're not dating anyone in between then, right? But it also feels like consciously like wanting to take time and more focus on your boys and your business than like where it's like you're just not meeting anybody right away and sort of is like, I'm just going to focus on this stuff first because this is sort of more important. Your son will be there, and your daughter will be, but I feel like she's kind of takes a little bit of a quieter role, maybe not as comfortable. Excuse me. I mean, I feel like she's more introverted than your son. Like your kids are both pretty introverted, but I feel like she's a little more introverted than he is. You're very welcome. Okay, if that's it for questions, if you guys want to do general, then I'm happy to do that. And if not, we can say goodnight. And then I will see you in 2 weeks because next week, it's a little too hard for me to try and get it in because Sunday morning I've got the evaluations with my daughter and then I have to go to a private event. Okay, I'm wondering if that would interfere with Terrence's parenting. You dating? No. I believe that he really wants to try and remain involved and very deeply connected to the boys. I don't feel like he's ever going to do. Let me say this. I don't feel like he'll ever live up to your expectations of what he should be doing. Like in your mind, he should be. Right? I feel like when your younger one is around 8, it's going to be hard for him, and I'm not fully sure why that is. Oh, no, sorry, not your younger. Your older is 8. But your dating isn't going to interfere with anything. It's fine. And the man who's coming in feels like I don't feel like he's had kids, but he's really good with your boys and very dependable and reliable. Yes, I will share that with you, KK. The financial situation is bad in Sweden. Can you see for 2025? That's what you need. I feel like things improve in 2026. So 2025, I'm not seeing like a big change, but I feel like new things are implemented in 2026 that boost the economy worldwide. And no, I don't feel like this is a world war. It actually feels like, this is going to sound weird, but focusing on climate change is actually going to fund a lot of money and create more job opportunities because of new. So where they used to funnel a lot of money to like the industrial war complex and that kind of stuff, they're going to be taking a lot of that money and funneling it towards companies that are working to improve the environment. 2025, I see like a slight decrease in unemployment, but not a ton. So I don't feel like a ton of movement in 2025. We're really going to start to see the movement and the change in 2026. Okay. That's what you're going to get, Cindy. Okay. So elections, any insights and expects next week. So we will be saying Madam President. Will a lot of immigrants in Sweden move back to their countries? No. It's like a yes, some will, but some new people will come in, so it's not like that. So we will be saying Madam President. A while ago I said this, and I feel like something around November 19th is when they finalize it, and I don't know if it's like there's a holdup with one of the Republican states or recount. Like there might be some stuff. Like remember when I think it was an Al Gore was running. I just remember as a kid, I didn't fully pay attention to it because I was still pretty young, but I just remember being like, they took forever to the count, and there was like all these questions about the count and all of that stuff. So I feel like that's going to happen, right? So there's going to be some challenges, but I feel like we will know for sure that she is accepted or been accepted. I don't know, whatever you say it is, accepted the nomination as being president of the United States. There will be some skirmishes. There will be like I saw some like either like a Molotov cocktail or a bomb. I saw stuff like that, but small, like one or two little events. And it's like it's not like we're taking out a big building. It's like it feels like it's like it's a very contained event. So maybe it's in the dumpster, maybe it's it just feels like small. Like, and even like the people that maybe go out and protest or try to start stuff, it's small and it's very contained. January 6th will never happen again. That will never happen again. The people who are voting for Donald Trump, it doesn't matter what comes out on him or who he is. Most of them that are still in it and that haven't flipped yet aren't going to. They're still believing a lot of the lies that are being spread. But it'll be okay. It's not like there's going to be a civil war. I actually feel like, especially in Washington, first of all, they're going to be really taking seriously any of the chatter they're picking up. But there's going to be heavy, like National Guard presence in DC or military, some sort of whatever they call it. I think it's the National Guard that they use. But there's going to be heavy presence of them for a little bit. Trump is too old. Well, yeah, but also like it's not even an age thing. He's just a concern, to say the least. I mean, a little bit of civil unrest, but nothing like where people are like, oh my God, we're gonna have a total civil war. Like that's not gonna happen. Just like I have theories that I think. Do you guys know who Sloan Bella is? I know Devery would have known her. I don't know where Devery's at. She should show up. I think I came to this conclusion. This is going to sound crazy. I fully understand that this sounds crazy when I'm saying this. So like, let's just like throw that out there for the like understanding how nutty this sounds. So I personally blocked Sloan Bella because I can't stand her. And I couldn't figure out fully why, because I'm like, like there's a place, because I always say there's a place for everybody's reading style. And like some people really need that. So like, I'm not trying to judge it, but there's just something about her that just absolutely rubs me the wrong way. And like part of it is like, she's always like, these celebrities are gay and these people are gay. And that's just so weird to me because I'm like, who cares? Like, why are you demonizing this stuff? And it's like, oh, they're on the down. Like, they feel like they have to be because of people like you who are acting like this is like whatever. I also think it's weird when she's like, all of these ceremonies they're doing and there's things that are sucking your energy. And I just think, I don't know, it just feels very fear mongery. But then she says stuff like, people are like, well, she got it right about Diddy being arrested. I'm like, yeah, but if you're a plant, so I think she's a plant. And I know that sounds crazy saying this, but like, so there's a huge right wing, like new age to right wing pipeline for getting people to go like into the like the right wing side of believing in like all the Trump stuff or whatever. And so I just think it's very interesting, like who would be a great person to fool people or to con people and to pay them to do that, other than somebody who's like sort of new agey. She gets a few things right, but a lot of the things she reads are like for dead celebrities. And like, so you can't validate or verify any of the crap she says, except for she said this Diddy thing. But if you're being paid, right? If you're being paid to like spread misinformation and con people, you do get some of it right. And so then she was like, oh, there's not going to be an election. She was so firm on that. I'm like, well, and so then she'll go back and be like, well, it's a different timeline now. Like there's whatever. So like she's foolish. And I just feel like it's just to spread fear mongering and gather more people into that. I hope this doesn't sound so nutty. Then there's this other woman, Allie Carter, who apparently was a victim of Diddy. Now, I believe she was a victim. I believe she was shit all over her entire life and taken advantage of and abused and all of this stuff, right? I fully believe that. I fully believe Diddy did what he did, right? But I also know that when you have somebody like that, they're so easy to flip and get them to do what you want, because a lot of times there's that attitude of like, fuck everybody else. Nobody fucking helped me when I needed it. So who the fuck are they? I'm going to get my bag and fuck them, right? Sorry about my swearing. Hang on, Jeep. So what I feel like she is because then she said something the other week about, and that's where it made me go, I think she's a plant. She goes, oh, well, Trump helped bring down a whole bunch of ex-trafficking rings in Australia. But we all know if Trump had really done that, he would brag like crazy, because that man cannot shut up about how amazing he is. So that's why I think those two people are plants. You watch them and tell me what you think. I know that sounds totally crazy, right? But it's like, it would make, like, if you're trying to get somebody to be a part of your, like a part of the con, right? A part of the, like, to spread misinformation. So I don't know. That's my thing. Okay. So sorry. Will Europe turn more far right? No, they won't. We're going to start kind of making a shift. That's this Pluto moving into Aquarius. We're going to start making a shift back towards humanitarianism, and like taking care of people and sort of moving the focus off of the things that we've been focused off in the past. All right. So does anybody could anybody like actually agree with some of that stuff? And you don't have to. You can be like, you're crazy. I don't even know who those people are. Like, KK, do you know who these people are? Anyways, maybe I'm stating it here so when it happens, you guys can be like, oh my God, you totally said it. And be like, yes. You have no idea who they are. Okay, look up Sloan Bella and Allie Carter. I see Sloan Bella stuff just because she does predictions. She's not cultured. Like, neither one of these people are cultured. I just see it because I'm like, they come up again because like Diddy stuff is everywhere. And then, well, on my algorithm, I guess. And then I not that I want the Sloan Bella stuff, I just see it because other people repost her stuff and be like, oh my God. And the comments are like, she's so amazing. She got it right about Diddy. And I'm like, but she like got it wrong about almost everything else. And the other stuff that she's reading on, like, you can't validate or verify any of that. So F out of here. You know what I mean? You're aware of Sloan Bella. Yeah. I just think she's a con artist. I absolutely 1,000% think she's a con artist. So, all right. Any other questions? Otherwise, say good night. those are my 2 cents. I know that it's probably a little unorthodox to say, like, I think they're, I think they might be. I'm not saying she doesn't have trauma with it, but I'm also saying, like 2 things can be true, right? Um, I'm also saying that it's weird. Um, it's like I mean, she would probably say, I'm not homophobic, but she kind of is. Good night, Jeep. Get some sleep. It's late there. And I just think, like, I also think it's weird that people are so obsessed with, like, what celebrities in the closet, or like they're really like they've got beards or whatever. It's like, well, if you people weren't so fucking awful about who somebody was or what role they had to play, like, they would just be comfortable being themselves. I think she is, and racist, 1,000%. And I can't, it's just strange to me. It's just strange to me. Like, I don't know. That's why I think she's like, I just think she's in on the con. Maybe that's me. It wasn't until I saw the Ally Carter thing where she said the Trump thing, I was like, oh, I think that there's, because if you're being hired to spread misinformation, you're gonna have some of it right. And it wouldn't be hard to, like with the Diddy thing, it wouldn't be hard to know something ahead of time. And I say this only because, first of all, there had been things around about him, whatever, but also, like, before they do a big raid like that, like, they've gathered information for years. That is not a, like, we've just been doing it for a month, years to come back and be like, we're like this, let's go, A broke clock is, yes. Yes. But I also think, like, I just think if you're a reader, great. But like, do other things besides the celebrity stuff or stuff that you can validate. And then, like, when she's wrong, she never comes back and is like, she's like, of course, if she's right, she's like, look, see, I did this. But when she's wrong, she doesn't go like, well, I was wrong. Like, I got that wrong. There's been a couple people who've also predicted, like, big hurricane or whatever coming up on the East Coast this time of year right now. It's not going to happen. Sorry, not sorry. It's not going to happen. Okay. Any other questions? Because otherwise I'm going to say good night. I have to go help my daughter with pre-algebra. Yay. I really just need to keep her focused. I don't have to help her. I just have to keep her focused. Which is, like, kind of funny because me keeping her focused is like, I'm always like, wait, did you do that? Does anybody, I don't know if anybody's looked at, hi, Autumn, how are you? Not to switch gears, but any updates on Taylor and Travis Kelce? They're going strong. Like I said, I've said this for a long time, their energy matches. And I know a lot of people want to be like, I do think that they will end up being married. I for sure see one kid. I almost think she might have some issues getting pregnant, or a little around the fertility part. But I know there's people that don't like them, but I think they're good for each other. I mean, he does have some, like, annoying, guy habits that, like, but nobody's perfect. He seems like a genuinely good person. Oh, of course I would answer that. Oh, no, I don't feel like the next one will want any additional children. I feel like they're happy that you've got them. They're fine with that. They don't need any more. I might come on and do, like, a special one. So if you're following my, like, a special reading thing just because of the election stuff, but I for sure can't come on next Sunday. It's like my day is just way too packed. Joe Burrow and Olivia, are they still together? I heard yes. I don't even know who they are. So I heard yes. Oh, you just finished watching football and that's where your brain is at. Well, that's fine. That's allowed to be there. I don't know anything about football. I could stand next to an entire football team and be like, I wonder if they play football. I just wouldn't know who they were, anything about them. Although I did see, I thought this was funny. Well, I think that my one of my daughter's teachers at their school, they were dressed up there. The teachers always dress as a theme. And this year was like some kind of sports thing. And one of the teachers, he dressed up as, I think it was Mike Ditka. It looked like one of the characters from the SNL thing. And I think he was supposed to be Mike Ditka. I didn't ask him. But so like that's about, I don't really know anybody. And I know who Troy Aikman is. And I know who Brett Favre is because my friend in college had a full life-size standing thing of him because she had a huge crush on him. And we lived in Wisconsin. So that's about it. I don't really know anything about football players or really any other. Like I know I can watch football and understand it. And I can watch baseball and understand it and basketball, but I don't know who anybody is. And again, it would be like when I lived in Hoboken, I think some professional basketball players lived there. And I remember seeing in the grocery store and being like, I wonder if they play basketball. But that was like the closest I ever got to finding out. Because I don't know. That's me. Anyways, okay. So if I get a chance, I will, if you're subscribed to my email, I'll send out an email if I'm going to go live. Maybe I'll put a little note in here or something. I am now doing all of my own social media. So in the last week, I did all of the posts and everything and created them. So let me know what you think if you like it. And that's it. I hope y'all have a fabulous week, and I will see you for sure in 2 weeks, but maybe once before then. Have a good one. Go out and vote if you haven't.